just record from here on in. Hi, everyone. We've been talking a little bit about the income potential. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just reiterate. I'm going to share my screen. And I was just talking with Amy and Thomas about the potential that you have as a consultant. And I, you know, kind of calling it like the more, you know, get the more you're looking for. And again, and I still have some shows to submit tonight, but right now my sales are at 1150.30. And so that means that as a consultant, my commission is 276.08. All right. But because I'm an executive director, and this, you know, moving up, I've been an executive director since 1996. So I was 4 years in the business before I was executive. But this is the commission you make as an executive, 6202.60, and I know that that's going to be higher because more sales are going to come in tonight. And again, this is not to boast or to impress you. It's to impress upon you what there is available to you as a consultant. And so that's, you know, a lot of us do Pampered Chef for the money, right? You know, I mean, yeah. You know, I was at a meeting with Marna Ross, and you know, I don't know if you've heard some of these names, but and Judy Joel was there from the home office, and you know, she's like, I wouldn't come to work if I wasn't getting a paycheck. You know, I mean, not too many of us would. I mean, although we love our job, I love my Pampered Chef business, and quite frankly, if I won the lotto, I still would do Pampered Chef, but I probably wouldn't do it for free. And so if you're going to do it, you might as well, you know, get the most bang from your buck. And that's always what, you know, that's always how I've looked at it. So I'm going to just share. Let me see here. Oh, it looks like I lost what I was doing. Can you imagine? All right. I'm just going to try something else. Recent. And of course, my computer is slow. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, I am not having any luck. Well, one of the things I wanted to talk with you about is, do you know the story of Doris Christopher and how she started Pampered Chef?
I don't. Are we supposed to know this story?
No. That's okay, why you're here.
Yeah, I don't.
That's why you're here. And that is exactly why you're here. And Doris Christopher was a home economist. And this was in 1980. She had 2 little children at home. Her husband was an executive of some kind at some business. And she wanted to stay home with her kids. She didn't want to have to go back to work 9 to 5. And she's trying to think about things that she could do. And she thought, well, why is it that just like caterers and restaurateurs have these great utensils at home, you know, at work? And the people who cook every day for families don't have these great utensils. So she used to shop. She went to there's a merchandise mart in Chicago, and she went there and she looked around for products, and she came up with a product line. And she and her husband were talking about, you know, how to market it. And he made the suggestion, and this is Doris Christopher and Jay Christopher, they're divorced now, but that was her husband. And he said, well, why don't you do like, you know, like Tupperware? Why don't you have home parties? And she was like, oh no, I'm not going to do that, you know. But the more she thought about it, the more it grew on her. So and now Doris and Jay are very conservative. Pampered Chef never has been in debt. They're a very conservative company in terms of financial, and they donate a lot of money to organizations who are very philanthropical, as well, as you probably can already know. But so she bought, you know, she went to what she thought, she tried the pizza stones, and she goes, oh my gosh, these are amazing, you know. And she talked with each vendor about how she could just get a few at a time, you know. And in fact, I have to tell you, if you've been on our Sunday night training, I do have a picture of a bunch of executives in front of where Pampered Chef started, and it was in her house, in her basement. So she had these products in her basement. Mm-hmm. She booked a party, and it was on an October night, and she filled her volare with all her utensils, and she proceeded to go to do this Pampered Chef party. And if I'm not mistaken, she did a frozen pizza on a stone.
Oh.
And it was a $400 party, which by today's standards is, not that, it might have even been less than that. Now that I think it might be 200 or 300, but 4 people said they wanted to have a party.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you, when she got to the house, and this was like one of her best friends, the party was in the basement, and she had crates, 6 crates and it was raining.
Oh.
Rain. So she gets to the house, she's got 6 crates of stuff to take downstairs to do this party, and she is like, I am not doing this again. I am not going to, this is it. I am done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when 4 people booked parties, she was very gratified and very excited. And that was the birth of Pampered Chef. October 15th, I believe it is, in 1980.
Oh.
So, and then she didn't she didn't understand the recruiting. I think it was a year before she even added anyone to her team. And that they would fill the orders. Her kids would help her fill the orders. And it's really cool. I've been to, we call it Heritage Home, a couple of different times. And you can see, like, she's got brown paper bags stamped with what used to be a hen. I don't know if behind me I have a hen. And anyway, it's just a really cool story. And to think that, I'm going to say is it 2004? She sold Pampered Chef, I believe it was $700 million.
Wow.
To Berkshire Hathaway. Now, do you know who Berkshire Hathaway is?
It's a huge company.
It's a huge company. Do you know who owns Berkshire Hathaway?
No.
Warren Buffett.
Oh.
Now, do you know, I'm going to Google this. Do you know how much, a share of stock of Berkshire Hathaway is?
Mm-mm.
Any guesses?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Berkshire Hathaway stock. You're sitting down, aren't you? $325,000 a share. We are part of a huge, wonderful, like Thomas said, a huge company. Very stable. And what happened is she was worried, and Doris and Jay didn't get divorced till after they sold. But she was worried that something would happen. If anything happened to her, she and Jay would fly on different planes. And I remember this. And they wouldn't fly on the same. Went on an incentive trip. They were on different planes because they were worried that if something happened, the company would be jeopardized. And they wanted to make sure that everything would stay very much the same. And so fast forward, and now we have, they sold, and the CEO. Now Warren's right-hand girl, Tracy Britt Cool, is our CEO.
Oh.
And she is like his golden girl. And so anyway, so that is who's running Pampered Chef. That's that huge big picture. So with that, have I sparked any questions? Anything you wonder about Pampered Chef? No?
No, not anymore.
Well, I just want you to know that I have some stats I'm looking up really fast here. I hope it's going to be fast. Tuning Stars PCT. Like I said, I was at a meeting in Saginaw on Sunday with the home office, and she shared some stats, and I'm looking for okay. There are 42,000 consultants in our company, and there are 1,700 director teams, which is 4% of the company.
Wow.
600 are upper level, advanced and senior director. And then we have 60 execs, of which I am one of them. We have 8 senior execs, and I believe we have 12 or 15 nationals. So, in our team, we are in the top 80, top 80 teams of Pampered Chef. So, out of 1,700. So that's pretty darn good. So
Pretty good.
yeah, we have a lot to be thankful for there. So with that, again, depending on what you want from your business, and Amy, I know that long term it sounds like you would like more, and Thomas, I think that I guess so. Whenever we have a little meeting like this, I want to make sure that when you leave, the next step that you need to take to implement for your business. So let's talk a little bit about what you would like for the next 30 days. What would you like to have happen? What would you like to be able to say about your business on May 30th? Anyone who wants to go first?
I know what I need to do.
Well, is that different? Oh, the Frank's list. Did you take that home from the meeting?
No, I found this one on Facebook and printed it off.
Oh, okay. All right. But you found it on Joe Pack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because it looked.
But I have it.
Well, that's awesome. Well, you got that far.
Yeah.
So really, Thomas. Now, are you familiar with the Frank's list, Amy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you done it?
I have not done it fully.
Okay. Well, so Thomas, tell me, how long do you think it would take to fill that out?
Quickly, you could do it in about 10 minutes if you wanted to.
Really? Now there's
Yeah.
the question. And I'm doing a workshop at 9:00 called Rise.
Right.
And for the first week, we talked about belief in yourself, the company, their products. The next week, we talked about passion, how passionate. Tonight, we're going to talk about skill. And then we talk about will. Next week, we'll talk about will. So, so this is where the will part comes in,
Right.
you know what to do, right? It's not hard.
Yeah, it's just a matter of sitting down and actually doing it.
Okay. I have a little assignment for you guys, and I don't know, you may have already done this. We only have just a couple of more minutes left. On the Joe Pack page, there is a video that I posted last August, and it's a clip of Awaken the Giants Within, or it's a football movie. Do you know which one I mean? I'll find it and I'll tag you guys in it.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Something about the Giants. I've heard of it.
Yes, and you may have seen the movie, and it's a clip, and it's quite. So what I want to do is I want to put this bug in your ear. I'm going to ask you for 15 minutes a day. Can you find 15 minutes a day to spend on your business?
Yeah.
Okay. After the kids go to bed, I know you've got cute little ones, Thomas. Amy, do you have any kids?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
And the funny thing is, and Amy, I'm in your boat. I don't have children either. And people used to say, well, that's how you can be so successful. You don't have kids to worry about. I'm like, wait a minute. I lost a lot of networking capability because I didn't have those kids, right, Thomas?
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to ask you for 15 minutes. And Amy, I know like you're doing virtuals and you spend some time, posting and you're manually posting and stuff. Maybe when you go to SendShare or something like that, you might be able to tweak that and have a little extra time. However, I'm going to ask you for 15 minutes to focus on your business and growing your business. That's all.
Okay.
15 minutes a day, 5 days a week, not even 7 days a week, okay? And I know we've talked about that at our meetings too, Thomas. So if you could take 15 minutes, maybe even tonight after we get off, unless you're going to come join us on Rise, and I hope you will, use the same link, come on back. It doesn't matter that you haven't been on the first two, if you've missed any of them, that's fine. But I'm really going to encourage you to do that Frank's list for 15 minutes, come up with as many names, and don't think about them in terms of whether you think they'll have a show or not. You just think about people that you know and make that list. Do you think you can do that for me?
Oh, yeah.
I can do it.
more importantly, can you do it for you?
Yep.
What you want and the goals you have for your business. And then I'd like you to take a second in this next week and watch that video. All right.
Okay.
And tell me what you think. Okay. Did you learn anything tonight about the big picture?
Yeah.
Does that help you? Oh, by the way, what are either of you interested in going to national conference?
Possibly. I
Okay.
think I answered that last week.
Yes, I thought
So
I
is it
wasn't sure if that had
possible?
changed.
Yeah.
Amy, are you
Nope.
aware that we have a national conference?
No, not this year.
Okay. All right. Well, it's awesome. So anyway,
Someday.
yeah. Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And again, if you would like a little bit more information, we're interviewing Diana Kasperzak, who is one of our directors, and she lives in Minnesota. And I think you.
I love that accent, so I'll watch.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah. It's our Pampered Chef family, you guys.
All right.
Love ya. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.